back, relax, and maybe get yourself a snack. Me and you gonna have a little chat about books. Hey guys, so I'm here today to do a readathon TBR. I've not done any readathons for a while. I tried to do the Irish one and then my life was a little bit chaotic, so I didn't quite get to it, but I'm going to try and do this one. This is the Clear Your Shit readathon, and that sounds completely appropriate for what I want to do with reading through more of my physical books if I can. So this is a readathon, which is a really fun concept. I will link the website for it down below. Basically, it is a story, and we are working with the narrator to read through books and explore planets and uncover more of the story. And it's just a fun concept. It's really snarky, it's funny, and if you want to check out the previous readathons that they've done, you can do that on their website, so I'll link it all below. The new readathon is a mini readathon. It is called 4.5 and it is from the 1st of June to the 30th of June. Now I'm hopeful that this will be good for me because we are actually going away for a week in June and I really want to try and get some reading done on that holiday. We'll see if it happens, but I'd like to try my best. And I'm going to try and do some physical books for reading for a change, because I read a lot of Kindle stuff and I would like to read some stuff not on my e-reader and some physical books. So there's a couple of prompts for this challenge. I'm going to do my best to hit some of them. I don't know that I'll hit all of them necessarily, and I might need you guys to recommend me some things, so by all means leave me ideas and let me know if you're participating in this readathon. If you've done a TBR, please link it for me. I'd love to go and check that out. There are 9 prompts and I've got, I think, like 6 books to try and fulfill some of them. So the first prompt is a book that I got because of other media. Now, I got this book recently. I haven't actually shown it on my channel yet. This is Benny the Blue Whale, A Descent into Story, Language and the Madness of ChatGPT. Now, this is an interesting concept and I picked it up because I went on an AI course with work. AI is obviously a really fast-moving, evolving kind of facet of our new lifestyle, shall we say. It's taking over lots of industries, it's being utilised in lots of industries, and therefore I would say it is a media in its own form. It is a way of playing with media, in fact. And so I picked this book up because I went on this course. I found it all really interesting and fascinating and a little bit scary at once as well. So this is actually a book which is written by an author with ChatGPT. So the author is giving prompts into ChatGPT, replying to the responses and kind of crafting a story together with ChatGPT. But it's also, I think, an evaluation of how the author would have done it had they not been using ChatGPT, or some of the inspiration they in fact did take from what the AI algorithm and the ChatGPT spat back at them. So I really don't know. I think it's probably going to be a bit of a weird story because it's obviously written by partially an author, partially an AI, and it's also a commentary on what the AI has been giving the author. So it's a little bit of a non-fiction clashed with fiction. I don't know if it's actually a story per se. It's maybe more of a commentary on a story, but I will see what I think of this. I think this fits the prompt because I did pick it up because of how AI interacts with all medias, and I just think it's going to be interesting. I work in publishing. It's something that I am always doing in my day job, so I'm just intrigued to see how AI might be interacting with authors and what might be changing in our futures. The next prompt is a book that is my favourite genre. Now, I have not chosen a specific one for this because I think that most of the books in this would count for that, but also I just want like some options to give myself some flexibility. So I'm going to skip over that one because I'm no doubt will read a fantasy book at some point over June. The next one I have is a book which has sparkly cover or a white cover, and I was trying to get a shorter book for this prompt because I don't want them all to be really long and to make this fully impossible for myself. So this is more of a cream, I admit, than white, but it is, for the purposes of the readathon, we're going to call it white, even though it is cream, I know. And because the main character has a white moustache. He is called Al McBarius, and he is blessed with an extraordinarily white moustache, an appreciation for craft cocktails, and a most unique magical talent. He can cast spells with magically enchanted ink, and he uses his gifts to protect our world from the rogue minions of various pantheons such as the Fae. Now that all sounds great because I love cocktails. I'm very intrigued by Fae interactions with humans. I think that is always a weird and can be quite dark subgenre of fantasy, so I'm intrigued about that, and I'm just looking forward to reading something by this author because I'm not sure I've actually read any of their books yet, so I'm definitely intrigued and I'm hoping that I will like this one. Prompt number 4 is a book with drama. And for that prompt, I am going Play of Shadows, which is by Sebastian de Castell. I've chosen this one because it is the first one in a series and therefore it hits another prompt, but also because I think that Sebastian's books generally have a fair bit of drama. They're often sword and sorcery style books, which I think generally is drama filled. Lots of fights, lots of snark, lots of intrigue. So I'm excited to read this. I also really like Sebastian's work, so I'm hopeful that I can start this series by him and really enjoy it. So this one only recently came out. It came out in March of this year, and it doesn't so much have a blurb as it kind of just introduces our hero. It says, "Everyone has a talent, and these days mine is running. So superb is my aptitude for panicked flight that it almost makes up for my less admirable traits, which include cowardice, poor fencing skills, and a regrettable tendency to forget those faults while making bold threats against brutish thugs who suffer no deficiencies of their own. Run, rabbit, run," my pursuers cheered as they chased me through bustling streets and abandoned alleyways, over one crowded canal bridge and across the next. "Run down your warren, run up the hill, run from the vixen before she makes her kill." So, I mean, if that doesn't sound like drama, I don't know what does. It already sounds like there is drama from page 1. So I'm excited. I'm excited to start this series, and I'm very much looking forward to returning to Sebastian's work. It's been a few years since I read one of his books, and I've really enjoyed everything I have read by him so far. The next prompt is a book I have low expectations for, and I'm going to go with this one. I picked this one up not that long ago. It is a translated book from Korean. It's called The Diligent Dream Department Store, and it supposedly is a store where you can go in and you can order a dream. Now, I'm putting this as a low expectation only because it is a bit more borderline literary and fantasy, and for me, literary doesn't always work. Also, translated fiction really does depend on the translator, whether it's been a good translation or not. So I am intrigued to see this. It's also quite short. I hope it will exceed my expectations and actually be a really fun read, but I'm not fully convinced it will. So I am looking forward to seeing whether or not it is and whether or not it exceeds my expectations, but I just don't know. We'll see. Prompt number 6 is a book with a map, and weirdly, for a fantasy reader, I struggled with this one because a lot of the ones that I had on my shelf didn't have maps. But I have had one that I have been meaning to read for absolutely ages, and I'm sure it's been in like a couple of TBRs and I've never quite got to it. That is Have Mercy, and this one has got a little map in the front. Not a particularly exciting one, admittedly. There are more exciting maps out there, but this one is one I've meant to read for absolutely ages, and I just keep skipping over it. I think because it's a small little book, I just think, oh, I'll get to it, but then I never do. So I would like to actually get to it for sure this time. It's a dragon ridery book. It sounds like it's a fairly epic fantasy, and it's 2 different authors working together, which is interesting. It sounds like it's exciting, romantic, and fun all at once, which sounds like a good recipe for getting through it. It is actually quite a dense book, even though it's small. It's like 400-ish pages, so not super big, but then the writing is like titchy. So anyway, hopefully I can finally read this one for this readathon. The next one, prompt number 8, is just a free space, so you can put any book in here. I will almost definitely put an SBFBO book in that free space because I will be reading some of those alongside these books, so I'm not going to fill that one for now. And then number 8 is a book which was recommended by someone many years ago. I got this book, Romney Futch, which I am very intrigued about, but it's not my usual thing, probably. It's a little bit of a different kind of read for me. Part satire, part Southern Gothic tale, the new and improved Romney Futch is a disturbing yet hilarious romp through the strange New South where technology can change the structure of the human brain and genetically modified feral animals ravage the blighted landscape. It does sound a bit wild. I have had friends in the past who have said that this was really good, and I'm intrigued for sure to see if I like it, but it may be a different kind of cup of tea from what I usually read, and therefore I don't know if I will actually like it or not. But yeah, I want to finally try it at least, because it's been on my shelf for literal years at this point, and I just haven't got to it. So that's my pick for something that someone else recommended. And then the final prompt, which is number 9, was a book that is the part of a series, and as I mentioned, Play of Shadows fits the bill for that one. So hopefully I will fulfill that by reading that book as well. And that is it for this video. As mentioned, there's a couple of free spots with my genre one and my free space. If you have any recommendations you specifically think I should fill them with, or if there's something that you think would fit better than these from my shelves, then let me know. But otherwise, I hope to read a few of them, if not all of them, and report back on which ones I liked and hopefully give you guys some reviews. So thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you in another video very soon. Bye all!
Thank you for watching my video today. Go pick up a book, then come back and chat with me again.